Hello and welcome. And this is our top 5 forgotten decks in modern history. For our number 5, that is our Kodartha Rebirth deck. It is one of the pioneer decks when Modern started. The idea of the deck is to play Memnite or Ornithopter, cast Kodartha Rebirth, turn 1 to create 3 1/1 Goblin tokens, turn 2 casts Goblin Bushwhacker, casts Signal Pests, and then start attacking your opponent as quickly and as aggressive and deal as much burn damage as you can to your opponent's face to end the game quickly. This is one of those very popular, very easy to build decks in Modern. However, it's gone. Maybe because there are far better burn decks, far better aggressive decks that have emerged throughout the years. It is not as consistent compared to these other aggressive decks, because the main problem of this deck is it runs out of gas quickly, and or if Kodartha Rebirth doesn't show up, then it's just a little slower than the other aggressive decks. So maybe that is why. For our number 4, it's the Landfall decks. Also created way back the early days of Modern. It's a new mechanic that was first introduced by Wizards when Zendikar was released. It's a cool mechanic. It allows you to kill your opponent as quickly as possible, so it is also an explosive and an aggressive deck. But one of the main problems of this deck when I tried it out was also inconsistent. It ran out of gas eventually. A different version of this deck has been made, but still, it's not as consistent as you wanted it to be. I've tried it myself, and it's not really that good. So that's why maybe never to be used again. Who knows? Maybe Wizards will create a new card that will support this deck, and maybe it will rise from the ashes. Who knows? And for our number 3, the Argentum Armor / Quest for the Holy Relic deck. I would say that this is a really good deck. What it's trying to do is to cast Squadron Hawk so you can get another Squadron Hawk, cast White Mane Lion to bounce one of your creatures, cast Core Skyfisher to do the same thing, and keep on casting them because of Quest for the Holy Relic. Whenever you cast a creature, add a counter to it. And once you have 5 counters on it, you can sacrifice it and find yourself an equipment card by the name of Argentum Armor. And you can equip your Argentum Armor to any of your creatures that you've been casting over and over again, especially the ones that are flying, and start attacking your opponent for 6, for 7, for 8 damage. And not just that, but start destroying your opponent's permanents. And back then, this is a powerful deck because there's not a lot of cards that can stop you back then. It's focused on one thing, which is to get Argentum Armor, equip it to your creature, and attack. So if something happened in between, then you're done. That is why this deck was reinvented, having Oketra's Monument to become a creature-based type of deck. Attack your opponent with a bunch of creatures instead, in case Plan A doesn't work. That may have worked. I don't know. Still not seeing this deck, even after it being reinvented. So I guess not anytime soon. For our number 2, Infect. It is one of the very popular decks back in the days. Whenever you're going for a tournament, you have to make sure that you have your sideboards for Infect. It has the same idea as, I guess, Boggles. It's not going to go all out and drop all its creatures. Play probably 1 or 2. Start attacking you. And it's Infect. So it only needs 10 damage to kill you. So it can kill you fairly quickly. It has all the pump spells. It has all its tricks. It's very popular. It's a really good deck. Up to this point, I'm still baffled why it isn't being used at all anymore. I mean, you can see it every now and then, but not as popular as what it used to be. And for our number one, it's the Cowblade. It is very popular, very notorious in its standard days. It transitioned to its modern version of the deck. It is so popular that in a tournament, most likely 80% of the decks are Cowblades. So, what's in it? You have the Squadron Hawk, which finds other Squadron Hawks. You have Stoneforge Mystic, which finds you your equipment, the swords, and you have Jace, the Mind Sculptor. Apparently, this card, back then, was so powerful, so game-changing that everyone must have a Jace, even Jace Beleren, just so you can counter the Jace, the Mind Sculptor that your opponent is playing on the board. It is so powerful that it got banned eventually, even before it gets to finish its course in Standard. And because it got banned, the deck became less powerful and nobody is using it anymore. And even after Jace got unbanned, years after, this deck never came back. Well, there are some versions of this deck that you can see every now and then, but it's not as impacting as what it used to be when it was first seen. And because of that, that's our number one. Now, if you enjoy that, hit like, get subscribed, and see you again in the next episode. For now, ciao.